Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the press conference for Belfast. What did you all think of the movie? So you started filming this movie in September of 2020? August. Okay, August of 2020.
Yeah.
So what were the challenges, the acting challenges for you and for everyone in the cast to make a film during a global pandemic?
Yeah, listen, it's not easy. There's a lot of protocol that we had that was unusual and alien to all of us, getting COVID tested every day, having this strange one-way system on to set, and like each department would get their time, the sound would get their moment, and then the props would get their moment, and everyone was just coming in this sort of like in phases. It was very strange. But I think the overriding feeling for all of us was that we were so fortunate to be making something. We were all sitting around really clueless as to when the next job was going to come, and nothing was shooting. We were the first out of the gate in the UK, particularly. So we were just felt lucky to be employed, let alone employed on something that is so was so meaningful to me personally, certainly, and to all of us, and with such an incredible piece of work for us to play with. So that was the overriding feeling, and you were just happy to do all the protocols and keep everybody safe because we were felt so fortunate to be there to be able to tell that story.
So this is your first film. Jude, you want to do it again?
101%.
Jamie, you made this film. You all made this film under trying circumstances. Mm-hmm. You had your premiere in Belfast, and you are a Belfast man. Mm-hmm. What kind of responsibility, how important was this movie for you?
Couldn't be, we've taken this film to many parts of the world. We've screened it very successfully. The response to the movie has been very positive. It's been very pleasing. It's not always the case, particularly for me. We care so much what people from Belfast think of this movie. It's not strictly only for the people of Belfast, but God, they're important, and the story of the people and what people from that part of the world have been through is vitally important. It's been told in many different guises before to success, and there's a place for what Jim Sheridan did in the 90s and recent films that are focused more on the sort of the troubles themselves. But to see a normal, hard-working family and the impact that the beginning of the conflict had on them, I think is really important. So Thursday night was one of the most remarkable experiences of my life, to get to share it with those people and for those people to have embraced it. And we felt a very palpable sense of love in that room, and that just meant so much to all of us. Yeah.
So tell us, how was it? I know you rehearsed a lot.
Well, we had to.
God.
I mean, yeah, I would venture to say neither Jamie or I are natural dancers. Maybe Jamie more than me. No, it was, beautiful choreography by Alita. We were shooting a lot of the time in a heat wave. So there was many sweaty sessions of dance rehearsals where we were learning this choreography in like 35 Celsius. But I think it comes at such an important part in the story, and for Ma and Pa, for these two characters, it's really where the stresses on their marriage have sort of come to a height. And I think it really needed this moment for them to remember the foundation of love that they have for each other. And I think that's what's the most powerful thing in that scene, is you see that despite all the things that are happening around them, these are two people who love each other so purely. And then, of course, the wonderful singing by Jamie Dornan.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what was a godsend that day was that the vocal that I recorded for it, we did it after the production, so I wasn't having to sing live. It wasn't like, you know, Les Miserables or whatever, where they're all singing live. I don't think I would have survived the day if I had to do that. It was hard enough trying to lip sync in time on the day and deal with the dance moves and all the emotion that was wrapped up in that moment. And I agree with Katrina in terms of like the release of it. I feel it comes at a time in that movie where you've been through so many difficult moments, and suddenly there's this joyous release, and it's vitally important, and to see it through his eyes. And you know, that day was filled with terror, really, fear. But I was just getting so much back from this one, and everyone. It was, you know, obviously Kieran was like the only one who wasn't with us that day. For
I
obvious.
couldn't be bothered turning up.
He wouldn't even lie in the coffin. It was really, you know, it was strange. But it felt like, you know, bar Kieran, the whole gang were there, and it was very special, and it will be a day I'll never forget that day.
Well, congratulations. One of my favorite movies of the year, this and Barb and Star. I loved it so much. One of my favorite scenes of the movie is the scene between Ma and Pa, where Pa acknowledges that Ma raised the kids just so beautifully. Yeah. I thought that moment was so impactful for the story. So Jamie and Katrina, can you talk about your memories of filming that scene and also getting the direction from Ken as well?
That was the scene when I think I'd said yes in my mind before I even opened the script, based on the personnel surrounding the film. But that was the moment that really like punctured me in the script. So when we shot that scene, we shot it first from the angle that it plays in, and by the way, this one fell asleep for real. I don't know what that says about what Ralph and I were getting up to.
There's a really low soundtrack of little snores throughout that scene.
Yeah, not great for the confidence,
I mean, he's very method.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But we shot it from down there, and which is a beautiful, beautiful image. And I'm allowed, I can say this. Ken took me aside after and said, listen, I don't think we need to come in for coverage, like tight coverage. I was like, okay. But actually, I trust this man more than any director I've ever trusted before. So, I had to put my own personal sort of ambition of a nice, tight, close shot for that very important scene aside, and which was difficult. But I think it's far more impactful the way it plays. And at the end of the day, we are discussing the two boys, and in a very sincere and emotional way. So to have them included in the shot for the entirety while we discuss that, I think is really beautiful thing. So I think it was a wonderful scene to shoot, because it meant that was the most impactful scene that I read, and she's just the easiest person in the world to work with. So.
And to everyone on this cast, to this wonderful writer and director, thank you for making a film that truly is a rose by any other name.
Shakespeare. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice to see you. Thank you.